Joining me on the phone now, we have U.S. Senate candidate Mike McFadden. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Dan. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. And why don't you, I know you announced your candidacy at the end of May, so it's been, we're getting close to that year mark, probably about the 9 or 10 month mark. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? We got to get to know you a little bit.
Well, Dan, I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show this morning. I am running for the U.S. Senate because we need to do better. We can do better in this country. We need better leadership in Washington. We need better leadership here in St. Paul. I'm not a politician. I'm very proud of that. I'm a father of 6. Mary Kate and I have been married 22 years. I've been very active in my kids' lives. I've been the head football coach for the last 13 years in the Mendota Heights Athletic Association. I've coached all 5 of my sons in football. I've coached my daughter in basketball. I've been very involved in an inner-city school in Minneapolis that has some phenomenal results for about half the price of what the public schools, the traditional public schools, I should say, are spending. Dan, and I'm a businessman. I grew a business with 6 partners. Very proud of my business background. I like to say, if you're going to sell your house, hire a realtor. If you're going to sell your business, hire me. Dan, that's what I did. I sold businesses. And my clients were small and medium-sized business owners, and those are really the growth drivers of our economy. It's where all the job growth is taking place, and those are the businesses that are just getting killed by regulation. And I became very, very concerned about the lack of leadership in Washington and decided to run against Al Franken. So I took a leave of absence from my job back at the end of May and have been at this full time.
So, in other words, you know the numbers and you know the business side of things, and you know sports. If that should ever become a part of the job.
Yeah, I know sports, but sport. You know what I know, Dan, is I know about leadership.
Right.
And so whether it was in my business or with my family or coaching a team, I mean, sports, successful teams are about leadership. Also in education, it's about leadership, and I have a great background there.
Absolutely. I see that you have been endorsed by former U.S. Senators Rudy Boschwitz, also Norm Coleman, as well as the late Rod Grams. Those are some big names to have on your side.
They are big names, and more importantly, just wonderful people. Obviously, we lost Rod a couple months ago. God bless him. He was very helpful to me. Senator Coleman and Senator Boschwitz have been extremely helpful. They're the honorary co-chairs of the campaign, mentors. I mean, they're very, very active in the campaign. I talk to them each a couple times a week, and am very delighted to have the ability to learn from great senators like Senator Boschwitz and Senator Coleman.
So now officially that we have turned the calendar into 2014, now that we know a little bit about you, Mike, why don't you tell us why people should, or why you should get people's votes?
Well, I should get people's vote because I have a vision for taking this country forward. I understand the economy. I understand how to create jobs. I did that in my business. So I will work hard to expand the pie. We need to do that in this country. That's one. 2 is healthcare. As I'm out on the trail across Minnesota, Dan, the number one thing that people want to talk about is healthcare. The Unaffordable Care Act, as I like to call it, is a disaster. People are very upset. They're upset not just that it doesn't work. They're upset that the president lied to them. Dan, we have a healthcare issue in this country. I've run a business for 20 years. The fastest growing expense item that I've had is healthcare. We need to address it, but the Obamacare is absolutely the wrong solution. Nationalizing healthcare is a disaster, and we're seeing that unfold. We need another solution, one that's market-based, one that's state-based. Let us do it here in Minnesota. We have the best healthcare minds and the best healthcare in the world here in Minnesota. It's beyond me as to why we would kick that to Washington.
So looking at that, looking at the healthcare, what do you see as maybe some possibilities for a solution or maybe another remedy?
Well, a couple thoughts there. One is I really do believe it's a state solution, not a national solution. I think the states are laboratories for experiment. Let us do it here in Minnesota. We have the best healthcare minds in the world between the Mayo Clinic and the university system. We have the largest medical device industry in the world, Dan. Medtronic, St. Jude's, and 300 other medical device companies. And then we have the largest healthcare services business in the world in United Health Group. So let us solve it here. And then as your U.S. Senator, I'll scream about it and let other states adopt it if they so wish.
All right. Well, Mike, I know you're probably very busy with getting your name out there, and I know we'll continue to hear it right here in the future. And as we get closer to the election season, Mike, keep in touch.
Well, Dan, I appreciate it. And let me just make one last comment. I want to make your listeners' days out there. For those of your listeners that did not see the St. Cloud State poll right before the holidays, L. Franken's approval rating has dropped to 39%.
Wow.
We have a great opportunity here to beat Franken. I have a message that is resonating across Minnesota, and I look forward to being our next U.S. Senator from the great state of Minnesota. Thanks, Dan.
That's U.S. Senate candidate Mike McFadden. We'll be back right after this.